law of attraction, law of assumption / Neville's teachings. Well, which one should you use? Which one is better? Is there even a difference between the law of attraction, what you hear out there, and also, Neville's teachings and the law of assumption? This is exactly what we are going to cover in this video. So with that, let's just dive right in. First of all, I want to share with you a quote from Neville, because this is what he had to say about the law and manifesting. So he said this: "You do not need to work out anything. The works are finished. The principle, aka the law by which all things are made, and without which there is not anything made that is made, is eternal. You are this principle. Your awareness of being is this everlasting law." I'm going to read the second part of this, and then we're going to talk about what Neville's actually saying here, because this is super relevant. If you get this, you will never get confused by any names of certain laws, like law of attraction, law of vibration, law of assumption. I mean, at the end, these are names, but the question is, what do they point to? How can you, use this one principle that I want to point out here to generate your desired circumstances? So the second part of this quote is this: "You've never expressed anything that you were not aware of being, and you never will. Assume the consciousness of that which you desire to express," aka assume the state of being, the mood, the feeling, right? "Claim it until it becomes a natural manifestation," aka claim it until it becomes a natural internal state. "Feel it and live within that feeling until you make it your nature." Because what is your nature is what you manifest. Remember the saying, you don't get what you want, and you heard this from many other maybe channels as well, but that's the truth, right? You don't get what you want, you get who you are. But think about what that means, right? Life does not show you what you want, because that indicates to the mirror of life that you don't have it yet. You're still waiting, hoping, looking, seeking for it. But the ones that seek for something never get. The ones that already have it, they get even more of it. That's why the rich get richer and the poor get poor, because they are in the consciousness of either this or this, and they get objectified more of that, because life mirrors what you already have alive. So you get what you are. You first have to be something within, and then your life can reflect that. That is already the law, right? And here are my explanations, and then I want to conclude this. So you see, okay, actually, it's useless to say, oh yeah, I'm using the law of attraction. Then you have people that say, oh, I'm using the law of assumption, because deep down there is the one law, there is the one thing that's operating, and that's you. That's your awareness, and whatever you feed it with, whatever you basically feed your attention to, whatever you put your focus to, whatever you make alive in yourself, that is what you're going to objectify in your life. Law of assumption means that you basically say, I am it now, right? You assume it now. I'm not I will be, or you're trying to attract it, you see it still as separate, and you try to bring it closer to you. No, you bring your awareness now into the reality. You bring your imagination right now into the version of you that already has achieved the goal. So that's usually what people see as a difference, and I agree with that. I mean, some people really see a difference here, and when you say I will be, or I'm trying to attract it, again, that indicates to the mirror of life that you don't have it yet, that it's not part of you yet, that you are not it yet. So therefore, life can't reflect it back to you. It will always reflect back more trying, more of it is not here yet. So to conclude that, right, my statement after my journey until this point right now, my observations after working with hundreds of people and applying Neville's teachings in my life, I really came to the conclusion, and also after, listening, of course, to law of attraction content, I really came to the conclusion that there is only one law of life, and the name is irrelevant. Because at the end, the law of attraction, again, it's just different wordings, but it points to the same, right? Law of attraction, oftentimes you hear things that is, raise your vibration, match your vibration with the vibrational level of the thing that you want. And for me, that's different wording than aligning yourself internally to this state of being, what it would be like, what it would feel like to also have achieved their goal. So it's different wording, but at the end, it's the same one law that's in operation here, the law of life. So you can call this the law of life instead of, law of attraction, law of this, law of this, law of this, law of this. For me, there is only one. If you understand life, you understand existence, you understand that there is only consciousness. If you understand that you are consciousness expressing different states that you're identified with, well then, what more do you need, right? I mean, you just need to know, okay, need to be aware of what states are you in right now, And if you don't like your current states, if you don't like your circumstances, well then internally make new things alive within yourself, right? Change your internal reality, shift into new states, into new identities, so to speak, so that life, which always outpictures and mirrors back to you what you dwell on within, can reflect this back to you. So that's one law. That's one law of life. Give it whatever name, use whatever wording, but it's at the end just one principle that's in operation. And that's what Neville said, right? You are this principle. It's not that there's a principle that you can use as a tool. Oh, okay, right now for manifesting this, I use the law of attraction. And 1 month later, okay, right now for this, I use the law of assumption. Right? That's, weird. It's just not the truth. You just have not gotten to the real depths of understanding, how things work, because you will understand that your awareness of being, that is the law. You are the law. You make the rules. You are the operant power. You shift. It's not a law you use that can help you shift. No, you already shift your awareness. The fact that you can close your eyes, again, remember, awareness is the essence of, being alive, the sense that you exist. And what imagination is you moving through awareness, you closing your eyes and you putting your awareness on something that your mortal eyes can't see right now. That's what we coin imagination. It's tuning into something that isn't manifested yet, that's unseen. So you're placing your awareness on something new, and therefore that's like the coordinates that you give your consciousness on where it should move you to, right? And what next you see and you encounter in your external world. But who imagines, right? If you close your eyes and you hear a congratulations scene, or if you close your eyes and you feel into a new state, who's doing that? It's you. You are that law. So I really want you to understand this. And yes, it's more than a law which you can apply or not apply. It's basically your existence. It's always operating. It's not that you can say, I'm using it for a little bit, now I just pause to use it. No, you're always aware. As long as you exist, right? As long as you exist, you always move through states that are expressed in your life. Let's put it like that. So as long as you are alive, you always say, I am this, I am this, I am not this. Well, that's already determining who you are and therefore what you get back in life. You can't turn this off. It's always operating. And again, it is your existence. Your consciousness moving through states, always being identified with certain bodies of beliefs and assumptions and identifications. You say, I'm this, and that. I feel like this, and that. I'm the person who is like this, and that. And that is what you get back, what you get reflected back. So life mirrors wherever you dwell within in a delayed way. Very important, right? That should be something that you have on your mind, is that once you start to dwell on something new within, once you start to awaken in yourself, not in your body, but in your awareness, in your feeling space, in your reality, once you start to awake a new reality, a new state, a new mood, right? That you have now this, that you are now this. You start to imagine things that imply this, and therefore you anchor yourself more in this new state. It's not that immediately you get the full-blown manifestation back. I observed this also in my life, is that it usually happens in a delayed way. So internally you can right now stand in a new state, whereas externally it takes us through a bridge that, seemingly can go up and down, backwards, forwards, crazily, but as long as you stand in that new state, and like Neville said, you remain faithful to the new state, it will objectify, it will be expressed, it will be pushed out, so to speak, right? It will be mirrored back to you because you awoke it within yourself. That's already my take on law of attraction versus Neville's teachings. For me, there is no versus any longer, right? In the beginning, I also was like, okay, law of attraction, this makes no sense. I go for Neville's teachings, and I do resonate more with the way, Neville explained things instead of, for example, like an Abraham Hicks or whatever. But again, at the end, I'm convinced that people still try to express the same law. And in my personal opinion, Neville had an amazing way to actually express this one law of life, whereas other people made it sound like, okay, this is something, again, where you attract things to you, but you can't right now feel as though you already have them. So I feel that other people got this mixed up a little bit more, and Neville was really straight to the point. That is why I resonate with him, and why, believe that his teachings make 100% sense, and you can, follow them and apply them. That is why I teach them on my channel. And this is my take, right? So at the end, there's one law, give it whatever name, call it the law of attraction if you want, call it the law of assumption, but that will not change that Whatever you feed to yourself, whatever you give yourself first will be expressed. Coin it however you want. Use whatever wording, use whatever resonates with you. But I stay with Neville because he just used, like, for me, very easy, understandable wording and explanations. And if we go back to this quote that I shared with you, this makes it very clear, right? You have never expressed anything that you were not aware of being. You've never manifested something that you've not, in a sense, first made alive in yourself. So let's just say you manifested your car. Well, you first assumed that or occupied that within. Let's just say you manifested that relationship. Well, you first assumed that or occupied that within. If you got more business success, you first assumed that within. And if right now circumstances are not as you want them to be, well then first start within. Start with yourself. Start with your internal world. Assume the consciousness, the feeling, the mood of that which you desire to express. Because when you awaken it in yourself, it can then flow from within to without. Right? So that's it. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. Also, feel free to check out my 2 resources. One is my free masterclass, and the second link in the video description, pinned comments, is my program. If you feel that you want to work with me, you want accountability, you want me in your corner, you want personal guidance to apply all of this, you want a community, you want a system, you want like really an environment that helps you to actually achieve your goals, then just join my program. Honestly, it's the best out there. I have to say that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to speak to you soon, guys. Bye.